I like the shirt, man.
Live here. On the air. That right there is the youngest member of our team. You hear her? She did all the special vocal effects for most of the creatures in the game, if you would believe that. She's very talented, and we're really happy to have her around. Anyway,
generation's Frank Welker.
Exactly. Hello, everyone out there in TV land. Welcome to the Google Hangout here of what are we? Are we Infamous Quest? Is that what we're doing? So,
I believe so.
on the air, we are here to celebrate the launch of Quest for Infamy, which is, if you don't know, was a title that we just released. God, might not making sense. Very talented. And anyway, there's 15 viewers out there. Exactly. Hello, everyone out there.
Does anybody who's on this broadcast not have?
We'll hang out here. Oh yeah, somebody hasn't muted the mic.
Yeah.
What are we?
Make sure your YouTube is muted.
Is that what we're doing? Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
I'm not even watching it on YouTube.
I honestly can't even see you.
So
Somebody's TV's on.
Are you watching Tour de France?
no, I'm not watching Tour de France.
Tour de France.
So, how is everybody out there in TV land?
Good.
Good. Oh, thank you. Talk to me.
Steve, how are
I'm
you?
trying to figure out where the TV is.
Did anybody do anything infamous today? In celebration?
I
We
changed
released
my
Quest for Infamy.
earlier. That was pretty.
I mostly answered emails.
Did you?
I went out early.
So let's start with Broomy. Broomy, how was your day?
How's my day? Oh wow, what a question. Where to begin?
All right,
I went to
Broomy,
work.
thanks for telling us about your day. That was awesome. James Mulville, how was your day?
Good.
Good.
For the last couple of hours, I felt awful. My wife's just gone and got me some aspirin, so I'm on the way back.
Ah, that's good. All right, we're gonna move along here to Jason. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. So tell us, how do you maintain that wonderful mustache? All right, that's not a great answer, Jason. That's wonderful. All right, moving on.
The Steve Alexander Hangout featuring pictures of people who don't get to say anything.
Yeah, I'm just messing with these guys now. All right, tell us, Jason, how was your day?
How was my day?
Yes.
Well, going back to the mustache question.
It's important.
It's a complicated mixture of salves and oils. Little bit of tree bark that I have to grind up and ingest in the morning. You know, that sort of thing.
A little bit of that. That's interesting. I find that fascinating. I don't know if I believe it, but I find it fascinating.
I just don't shave.
All right, I'm going to move on down the line here, and we're going to talk to Jen. Jenny, how you doing?
Hello. I'm good. Been doing some sleep napping today.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, that's about it really. Got up to a lot of nice congratulatory emails and DMs and things, which was pretty special. And then I fell asleep. So no, I'm not sure I'd call that an infamous day, really.
Well, you know, every day's infamous with us. I mean, come on, let's not be modest, everyone. Now,
Well,
all right,
right.
we're gonna move along here to the one, the only, the Germinator.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. How was your day?
I went to work and then came home. It was great.
Any day when you make it back home, it's a good day,
That's right. Definitely.
Steve, how was your day?
My day. I'm not gonna tell you about my day. My day was just friggin' crazy and awful. First I woke up this morning. I was getting punched in the head, and then I realized it was just
By
me
Jordan.
hitting myself. And then after that, I woke up very early, and I got on, proceeded to get things ready for the day, made sure everything was as prepared as it could be, and then awaited the onslaught, which came. So I still have a whole bunch of emails that I have to answer. So, which is going to be fun. So, but Matt, how was your day?
I would tell you, but Jeremy took my answer, so I'm going to have to pass.
Man, you guys. Man, you guys. Let's see what else I got here. Well,
I already have questions in the comments. I can say a question there.
do we? What's the question?
Also, this
how many
start at 7 p.m.
Oh, well, yeah, well, there is one from Lam asking why we started late. I don't think that counts.
Wait, who asked why we started late?
Yeah. Because
We
it's Sean.
have-
Let's blame Sean.
We have one
did?
legit question from Johnny Atom. How many unique sprites are there?
How many unique sprites are there in the game? Oh boy, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's somewhere in the tens of thousands, I believe. More than that, could be.
Well, are we talking about individual frames of animation, or are we talking about like just characters and objects?
Frame. Oh.
I was thinking individual frames of animation, but there's a printout on AGS that'll tell me that, but I'm not gonna do that. There's tens of thousands. There's literally so many that if you had to count them all, by hand, you would probably grow a beard before you were done. Even if you were a woman.
I believe it's 18,759 precisely.
Wow! Look at that. That's why we keep him around.
I was just making that up.
Rain Man here.
You shut up! Everyone would have believed you.
I know, that's why I can't do it. I can't lie to them.
I can't lie. He's too nice of a guy.
Or that could have been the lie. You don't know.
I guess we don't. So yeah, I imagine that it's been a crazy day for everybody, just trying to, even if you're a woman.
I believe it's 18,759.
All right, who's got it on now? Look at that. That's why we keep him around.
I was just making that up.
Rain Man here.
You shut up! Everyone would have believed you.
I know.
Come on.
Do you think we should not to get all like technical and
Or that could have been the lie.
and controlling here? Should we go over it? Should we go through and maybe introduce ourselves? Or
I imagine that. Yeah, I was trying to get to that, but somebody's got the live stream on right now.
Right.
It's not me. I've not been able to get it working.
Broomy.
Who's got it on?
Just don't turn it off.
That's why we keep him around.
I'm closing it.
All you got to do is just mute it.
I
Anyway,
just got a black screen.
it was me. For some reason, it comes back on. I must have clicked it by accident. I had it muted.
oh, of course it was you. All right, let's go through here. I'm going to start with Broomy here. Broomy, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience out there? Let everybody know what you did and what you do and what you plan to do, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations.
Hello, everyone. I am Broomy, first name James. I was the original James before Sick Fiction came along and stole my name. I was associate producer on the game. I also helped a lot of the clerical work, video marketing, the website design. I wrote some interactions for the game, and that's about it. Move on. Oh, I hope for some many great things in the future.
All right. I'm going to move on down the line here to Mr. James Mulvale. I think I just introduced him.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Mr. James Mulvale, and I wrote the music for Quest for Infamy, and I'm Also the narrator.
All right.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
All right, let's move on down here. It's on you there, Mr. Lamb.
Me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Jason Lamb. I drew and painted a lot of the backgrounds in the game, probably about a third of them. Did a lot of animation, a lot of sprite animation. I did a little bit of puzzle design conceptualization with Steve from time to time. Yeah, so kind of a bunch of different things, mostly art related.
All right. And then we got Jen here. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jenny Pattison, and I did the portraits for, like, all the dialogue portraits for the game. I designed a bunch of characters, and I actually painted one background, one whole background.
She did it!
Which one? Portrait?
The mine's entrance is mine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
Yeah.
you're supposed to make a contest out of it. Anybody who can guess which background she did gets a free copy.
That would have been a great idea. All right. Well, we'll have to remember that when we go back in time and erase all this. All right. Jeremy, introduce yourself, sir.
Jeremy Kitchen. I did some duration for the game, sketch backgrounds for the game, maps. Did a lot of animation, battle animation, stuff like that.
Yeah, you did a whole ton of the sprites, dude. So
Sure.
don't be modest. All right, we're gonna go down here. Why don't you introduce yourself, Matt?
I'm Matt, also known as Nido King, and I paid more for my copy of the game than you did.
It's the truth, but don't be modest. He was there, giving us advice and help all the way through. It was very cool.
Yeah, posted a couple things on the forums that they decided to use in the game. Helped solve a couple problems.
Was it so executive producer?
Yep, executive producer of the game.
Oh, was I executive?
Yep, yep.
Those
You
are
are
just
listed as the executive producer.
Cool.
So yeah,
Moved up
cool.
in the world.
Grower of fine beards.
Yes, he's rocking the fine beard.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't shave it off.
Yeah, well, we only talked this weekend? Haven't had time.
What is going on? Where's my camera so far? Can't barely see me. Oh, there we are.
Okay, we have a question.
Yes.
BG Drog. I'm not saying the name. Any new projects on the horizon?
Yes. You know, when things die down from this, we've got a few in the pipeline. We've got some ideas running. We have one that Sean has been working on a lot, and hopefully you'll hear more about that soon. But you know, we got things rolling there behind the scenes. Anything else going on out there? Bueller? Bueller?
We've got a message from Scott Murphy to say he's sorry that he got here late, but he has to leave, and congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. Steve, did you introduce yourself, or am I going crazy?
No, I didn't think I needed an introduction. I'm
You need no introduction.
Sure you do.
Dude,
We want to hear about what you think you contributed to our game.
I'm Steve Alexander, also known as Blackthorn or BT, and I think I wrote a while loop somewhere in the game, and that's about it.
So that's why the game keeps freezing whenever I try to run it.
Yeah, yep. You know, I had one job. That's it.
Hey, we had a comment about our cool beards.
We have.
Thanks.
Augustine
We
Codes
do
says
have
so
pretty
many cool
cool
people in
beards.
this live stream.
Let's
I think that's what happens when you do a game for 2.5 years.
QA column. Oh, I guess people are asking questions in the QA column there. SD was telling me this. Let me see if I can bring that up. Oh dear, there we are. Jason Merles, what programming language did you use to write the game? Gargan, you know damn well what language we used. Don't play coy. We wrote it in assembler, of course. You know, everyone still programs in that, right? And
If you haven't written a bitmap by hand, you haven't programmed.
yeah, it's true. No, we used Adventure Game Studio, and it's free software. You can get it on the net, and anybody from beginners to experts can use it to create a game. And it's very versatile that way, and I like it. I dig it. So, and I know that he knows we use that because Jason, or Gargan there, is he's affectionately known, helped us code Space Quest. I almost called it SQ2. Jesus, Space Quest 2, back when we released that. So, let's see. Robert Mooney asks.
There's a question about Broomy in there too.
Yep. Robert Mooney asks, same Broomy from the Click community.
Yes, that is me.
K-L-I-K. Yes, it is the same Broomy from the Click community. That's crazy because Robert Mooney.
I've forgotten about that past.
Well, that's crazy because Robert Mooney is an old high school friend of mine. So he knew you.
I think Jay Folan was asking that. Jay Folan from Dropsy, I believe.
Oh no, wait, man. I'm reading this wrong, man.
Yeah, the names are on the bottom of the question. So Jay Folan asked that.
Jay Folan asks. Damn.
Me and Robert Mooney, yeah, we go way back.
Yeah, you and Robert Mooney. Mooney, let's see. Mooney asked what programming language we used to write the game. Of course, Jason knew that. Jeez. Look, somebody's got to come over and strike me over the head with a large plank of wood.
Well, Google draw a hammer above your head for you.
Is your wife not home?
My wife is just off camera saying volunteering for it. So. All right, Jay Tholen. Jay Tholen, who has an awesome game coming out, Dropsy. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but it's a game about a clown, and the animation in that game is the craziest I've ever seen recently. Like it's just insane. This character Dropsy, and he doesn't speak English. He speaks kind of like this weird gibberish language. As far as I understand, I could be wrong. So if I am, Jay, I do apologize. But he. What was I going to say? He doesn't speak English, so like his dialogue choices are like pictures. It's a very interesting communication system.
Yeah, there's a kind of grammar to it.
Yep. So.
Is it too late to add people to this? Because John Stoll wants to get in on the
No,
action.
I can do it.
Yeah,
could you? He can't join video chat because he's at work and he has too many customers.
Oh no, he just messaged me. He wants to get involved.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm behind.
He doesn't care about. He wants to get involved. Screw the customers.
Screw the customers. Who
Doesn't
cares?
worry about that.
Sure.
We're infamous.
I will get John in here. Let's see.
Steve, can we put a light on?
Have I got a light on?
We want to put a light on.
What light on?
Very dark.
Yeah, I have a light on right next to me. Let's see here.
Well, that's
I
better.
think you've got a UFO coming in your window.
Yeah. No, that's
Natural
sunlight.
light. Natural light.
That's sunlight. All right, hold on. I'm trying to invite John in here. So let me get this here. We'll get John in here. John is another member of our art team. He's a wonderful, wonderful dude. So hopefully he can get it. Let's see. No, so we got questions over here. Love that, people. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. Oh, I can select what question to answer. Oh, wow. That's crazy. And John's here. Hey, John. Let me get this here. We'll get John in here. John is another member of our art team. He's a wonderful, wonderful dude. So hopefully he can get it. John, just mute the. Let's see. No, mute
Jeremy.
YouTube. Or is that Jeremy?
Looks like Jeremy.
All right.
What am I doing?
Oh, okay, got it.
Just everybody double check that your YouTube, if you have the YouTube open, that it's muted.
Wow.
We're hearing somebody.
Martin's here.
Yeah, that was probably me. Sorry.
Okay.
It
All
happened.
right. So let's get John in here. Okay.
Hi, John.
Customers are too much for him.
It happens.
I like watching John work.
Steve, in the meantime, I've got a question from a Josh Dinan.
Josh.
Hey,
Oh,
Steve, did you reach out to Gary Busey for voice work? that ridiculously good-looking man. He was
Knew we
certainly
forgot
looking
something.
to get a voice in our game.
Dining. Of course he's asking a question about Gary Busey. You know, we did reach out to the Buse, and the Buse was not loose for us. As a matter of fact, when I talked to him, he got upset and demanded that I buy 12 copies of 48 Hours on VHS. And I said, Buse, why 48 Hours? And he had no answer for me. He just kind of screamed some gibberish and hung up the phone. So I don't really particularly care for Gary Busey. I don't particularly care for that question. I don't like the tone that it was asked in. And I'm not going to answer it anymore. So you guys can just you can go about your business.
I think your dog's sitting on your mic, by the way.
Nope. My microphone's attached to my computer. So
Yeah, your volume has gone down dramatically.
that's really weird. But this microphone has been acting funny. Hey.
Sounds like you're out the room talking. We're overhearing your conversation.
That is crazy. I don't know why.
Right. All right, that's Lamb. But it's a question anyway. How do you feel about the reception of the game so far?
How do we feel about the reception? Is my mic still acting up?
Yeah.
We
Just
can hear
quiet.
you though.
Very, very muffy.
Sounds like dog butt.
Let's see here. Alright. I'm going to attach a different mic. Let's see here.
How's this one?
Fantastic.
Much better. Well done.
Yeah, it's this sucker.
So enough about the game. What do you think of his mic?
It's alright when you work out how to use it.
All right. Sorry. Okay, so we're talking about the reception of the game. I've been happy with it. People, have really seemed to take to it and like it, and we're fortunate. So I don't know. I think a lot of us are just we've been working so hard on it for so long. I think I'm kind of in a state of shock from the whole day. It was really kind of a crazy day. What do you guys think?
Seems like the very few complaints that I've seen are basically just people saying, I'm not into that kind of game, but it's good for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree.
What is
Brumi.
it?
We're idiots.
People saying $20 for pixels? But that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, people are weird. Brumi, what do you think?
You know what? I've been very happy with a lot of the comments so far. I've read a lot of reviews, and people they understand the game and they really enjoyed it. They knew what we were going for.
Mhm.
I've seen other comments about the objectification of women. Thinking that it's just some kind of like male fantasy, and it's not. It's best, Steve. It's
It's a satire, we.
Yeah.
tried to satirize the standard tropes of women in fantasy fantasy movies, projects, and everything like that. I mean, if you play the game through, it starts to become more
Steve, can you define satire for those people that may not get it?
Yeah. Go read Horace and Juvenal, all right? Back in the Roman Empire. That's I don't know, a couple thousand years ago. Start there, work your way up. Read some Jonathan Swift. Read, A Modest Proposal, where he proposed that we eat all the Irish babies. You can start there. We'll work our way up. You might work your way into Kurt Vonnegut, Joseph Heller, Tom Robbins. All that stuff. I'm not gonna go on about that anyway. What else could we talk about?
We have another question.
Oh, we have another question? Okay, good.
Yeah, we do, from Nexa. She says, who or what was the most fun thing to draw /animate/create?
Ooh, well.
Do we each of us artists want to answer that one, or?
Yeah, you know what, Jason?
I'll start with you. First?
I'll start with you, Jason. You're right there. You're on camera.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we probably can all think of some things that were pretty interesting and kind of engaging to do. I think my favorite thing, and was also one of the most challenging things to do, and that was the sequence involving the Kraken. I kind of did that entire thing from the ground up, and it was a particularly touchy set of animations because the character is so large, and so when you have a large character like that, you really need it ultimately increases the number of frames that are needed to kind of make things look smooth. Plus, there's kind of like a whole bunch of different things that happen in those animations at once. So there's kind of a lot of different parts of them that end up kind of getting there. Other than that, though, my favorite character is Chewie, who's also a lot of fun to write and play around with.
I'm Jason. I like
Play around with Chewie.
All right, Jeremy. Why don't you tell us about something that you had fun with?
Probably like the goblins, the swamp goblin. Just the animations for the battle sprites there were awesome. Pretty much all the battle sprites were pretty cool to animate, and of course they're larger size too, like Jason's talking about. So more challenging, definitely more fun to do.
One of my favorite animations that you did was the Knoll pulling.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for somebody, but you did a really great animation for the Knoll there, and it's.
And that brings to mind the tree ants too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It cracks me up every time I see it. Oh man, the tree ant scene. You got to hear that with the voices. They're amazing. Oh, I love it.
Just gory death scenes, awesome. So you can't beat it.
All right, Jen, you want to talk about a particular character that you had fun animating and creating?
It's a toughie. I mean, of the human characters, I think Prospero was the most fun because he was just so over the top. He's like a total villain almost. But I mean, after you've done like 50 odd of the same face in like the same sort of pose, then it was really fun to get to do stuff like the Chewy one and the tree ants as well, because they're obviously so far and away different that it made a nice break. And I can't watch the tree ant scene without imagining that both of them are BT. Like, I totally hear his voice when I read the dialogue. I haven't heard what they sound like with the new voice actor yet.
Oh, they're great. The guys that did that are awesome. John, what's up? Is his mic not working?
Nope.
Oh, no voice. I got you. It's cool. Just give me a thumbs up. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There's so many moments.
Well, since John can't respond, I wanted to just go out there and say that John is probably the master of environmental animations. Pretty much every water animation in the game that like kicks ass was from John's hands. There's a particularly good set of water animations. I think my favorite one is probably the waterfall screen. Just the dappling of light, like the reflective qualities of the water, the light moving through the water as it flows. All of that was really well done. So we were really happy to have John on those environmental animations. Yeah, so kudos, John.
Most of those come out like later that day. You'd put up, hey, we need water animations for this background, and
30 minutes later, John would post it on site, and it'd be awesome.
Yeah, John be like, no problem, and then like return. It seemed like minutes later, being like, I whipped these out. I'm sorry they suck, and I'm like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like tears are running down my face.
It'd be like, let me know if this is okay, and all this, and it would be amazing every time.
Yeah, he'd be like, is this okay? I could do it better. You know?
What are we complaining about? That pixel?
Yeah. He did some really great ones. I particularly enjoyed. I lost my train of thought.
The pissing animation.
No, I did not enjoy that.
I like the whole brick and ambush scene. The whole every unique animation of it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which Jason put all together. I think everything about it. When I was seeing it all come together, all come in piece by piece, I was just like, I can't wait to see this live.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was a fun one to put together too.
Now, I'm going to ask James. James, do you have a particular piece of music that you really loved from the game that you really like doing?
Actually, I like the Brigand theme. Either the Brigand theme or the Tears of Arrows. So I got to whistle the Brigand theme.
You had like the hammering going on in that. Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, and yeah, the Tears Arrows. Yeah, it was all anvils.
Yeah,
I found a little pack of anvils on my sampler. Put anvils in it.
That is sick. One of my favorite tunes is probably the King's Road theme in the Grasslands. It's just so epic. Like I'm walking down the King's Road and I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. And then my dogs stare at me like, what are you doing? And I'm back to reality. So
that's in 11.8.
Yeah.
Everybody's into that stuff.
Yeah, the meter on that is crazy, but it's very inspiring. So
my favorite is just the Quest for Infamy theme in general. So.
Oh yeah, God, I've been singing that in my head, all the time for 2 years.
Yeah.
My favorite is the end credits music.
that is a good thing.
How many people have heard that yet?
So. Actually, in game, I think the one that I find myself going to this location sometimes just to hear the music is inside Prospero's shop. I just think it's so perfectly atmospheric. I also really like the tune that plays whenever you're doing a break-in house, the thief tune.
That was originally written to be in a mansion that actually didn't exist in the game. I saw a little thing. There was a ruined mansion, which was the Killington mansion, and I thought it was still standing. So I wrote a little theme for a little inside of a mansion. And then Steve was like, I was like, when's this mansion going to get put in the game? And he's like, dude, there's no mansion in the game. I was like, seriously? What did I write this for? I was like, oh, I wrote this for a mansion. So the theme, the Rogues theme. It found a home, so that's all good. Lots of things found homes.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez. You guys butchered Brandy's name. That's who asked the question earlier. Let me see.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was trying to read her username. It was
Yeah,
like
no,
Richard Bros.
I would have known who that is. She's been a loyal fan of the project for a while.
Oh,
She
I
puts,
knew that was Brandy.
on our Facebook page. Yeah. Sorry, Brandy. We owe you.
She had a new question. If you were to remake another classic game, which would you choose?
The Colonel's Bequest. That's my vote, if I could.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Are you kidding? The swamp, the house, the atmosphere, the music. Oh man, we could do so much with that. We could make we could do a really great version of that.
And then we could put it on Kazaa.
So yeah, exactly. It goes on Kazaa. It's out there.
Okay, we've got a question from Ronald Dragster. If Peter Jackson decides to make a Quest for Infamy movie, do you think it will become a zillion in size?
I will answer no question from this man. He's nefarious and a well-known bully and
You're a troll.
ne'er-do-well. Yes, a bit. He's never said anything nice about any of us. As a matter of fact, he called me a red-faced baboon once, I believe. I believe that's what it was. I don't particularly care for his attitude. And I'm not even going to tell you people what he said about the rest of you. Okay, I'm lying. Ronnie's a great guy. He's really sweet. He's awesome.
I was about to ban him,
Are you serious? No, I love the guy. He's the best. Are you kidding? He's been nothing but supportive. Oh, man.
Augustine Cords has a good question.
Uh-oh. What is he saying?
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Let's see. I can't see anything on there.
Read it out, goddamn.
Yeah, tell us what the question is, and then we can answer
Why
it.
are you so darned talented?
No, we can't answer that one.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if any of us can answer that. I think we can just... I don't know.
It's a random number generator thing, I mean, we really had no control over that.
We were born with it.
Oh, here's a good one. Drew Tavendale asks, obviously this game is based on a general love of adventure games, but are there any particular writers, directors, / studios whose work you found an inspiration while creating QFI?
That's a good question, man. There's so many influences, not just in the adventure game world, but, in the world of film and literature, television, I think that, for me, I was inspired a lot. It comes from a lot of places. For me, I always had a lot of Boris Vallejo and Frank Frazetta, paintings to inspire me, and then spun out of that was a lot of the fantasy movies that came out in the early '80s, like Conan the Barbarian, Krull, the Beastmaster, the Dark Crystal, all kinds of stuff like that. So let's see, those flicks. The Never-Ending Story is another one. A lot of the early '80s fantasy flicks. I grew up with those, and they inspired me a lot. As far as writing goes, you can't deny the influence of Tolkien, on any kind of fantasy there. And in the '80s, my cousin gave me the Dragonlance books, and I read those. Those definitely inspired me. From adventure games, of course, the Sierra games, King's Quest, Space Quest, Quest for Glory, huge influences on this for me. And literature-wise, during production, I was reading a whole bunch of different books, but I know that I was reading a lot of The Dark Tower by Stephen King, and that definitely, just the epic kind of feel of that, definitely inspired me in a lot of ways. So I don't know. Anybody else have anything else that inspired them or influenced them while they were making this?
Well, one of the things we always talked about with the art was being inspired by Boris Vallejo and Franzetta, is that it? What's the first name?
Frank Frazetta.
Frank Franzetta, and just the kind of classic '80s like fantasy art, video game box covers, stuff like that.
Yes.
It was definitely an attempt to kind of emulate some of that stuff with some of the character designs. In terms of like some of the designs of some of the areas, I think the Lord of the Rings movies for me were a big kind of always in the back of my mind in terms of visuals. Also, I think Game of Thrones. I remember the whole tower bridge in our game. It was very loosely based on the twins from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we were.
I think that episode, the episode where Robb Stark first meets Walder Frey at the twins during I think like season 2 or something, that was on like the day before I did that drawing.
I remember we were all watching Game of Thrones and talking about it behind the scenes. Yeah. We were like, we were singing the theme song to each other. Yeah.
On top of that, I agree with the Game of Thrones, but also to go back to console games, I also got some influence from Skyrim and some of those console RPG games as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you and I were talking a lot about Skyrim when we first started this. So, yeah, definitely Skyrim, great game. What else? Anybody else? Think of like, it's not like always too when you're talking about influences. It's not like you always copy them, but or even if they have anything to do with what you're doing, but like the essence of it inspires you. Like I said, like I was reading the Dark Tower, and I don't have any kind of cowboys or something like that in it, but the whole epic feel of it, was definitely inspiring me. Anybody else have anything, any music they were listening to or anything that was really driving them as they worked?
I made some suggestions for a couple of jokes here and there, and I derive most of my humor from Terry Pratchett's Discworld.
Right on. That's right.
I know Sean is really into Douglas Adams, and I know he there were a lot of Hitchhikers references, at least popping up on the forums when a lot of the dialogue was being written. I'm not sure how many actually made it into the game, but I think some of the absurdist humor definitely comes from writers like that.
Yeah,
you know what, Lam? I listened to a heap of the audiobooks of Hitchhikers, which was actually read by Douglas Adams, and his delivery on those books, I kind of tried to get into the narrator at times, so I read it in the style of Douglas Adams.
Dude, I hear that. I know what you're saying. Yeah, totally.
You hear him read Mostly Harmless?
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. I love that. That's what I mean. Like, we all have our own influences with what was inspiring us while we're making it, and I think that's another really cool thing about working with a team like this. Like everybody is really into a lot of different things, and they're all awesome, and that kind of cultural stew right there really helps to make an interesting game on so many different levels. Anyways, I'm always impressed by what everybody brings to the table, and a lot of it has to do with what you're interested in.
And Jim, what were you influenced by on your portraits?
I don't know. I mean, I have obviously a lot of the same influences as everybody else, just from having been born around the same time. Like having a lot of, grew up with the same kind of fantasy movies and things like that, and obviously played all of the old adventure games, and I loved King's Quest particularly, and I always loved the dialogue portraits. But I wanted to do something a little bit more realistic, and obviously with having access to so many more colors and effects and things like that, we were able to do that. But I mean, for me, the influences would just be illustrators and people that I followed on DeviantArt and stuff like that, and a few of the classics like Dulac and Rackham. But I don't think anything that you would particularly see in the actual work that went into the game. I don't think you would particularly pick up on the influence in them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Influence isn't always, overt copying, but people inspire you, you do your own thing, but you can definitely be inspired by people. So
I think one of the things we were actually really careful about, is at least with the art assets, was not ever overtly copying anything. I mean, not just from a copyright standpoint, but from a we don't want to feel like we're being too derivative in any way.
Yeah, it was more like architecture, layouts, form, stuff like that, of buildings and cities.
Yeah.
Well, there were the backer portraits, though. I mean, we can't really do any resemblance to living or dead persons is purely coincidental, because half the characters in the game are inspired by the people that paid for it.
yeah, it's true. That was fun though. It was fun being able to put people in the game and give them a character and bring them to life. I think there's a lot of fun characters that came out of that. So.
I'm guessing the characters are nothing like the actual.
Actually, this is to everyone. Everyone, who is your favourite character from Quest for Infamy?
My favorite character is. Oh, this is a tough one. Oh boy. This is hard for me because I wrote most of them. So it's like like picking your favorite child. Somebody else.
I think I suppose because I've been attached straight from the beginning. I've always thought Yan was my favorite character. He just seemed so friendly. Like you could just go up to him on a bad day and he'll still be so nice to you. It's like, hey, how are you? Seems like the nicest guy in the world, and you can't hate a nice guy. And obviously, when you play the game and you learn more about his character and how he develops, you just learn to like him even more. And I think he's just one of those sort of neutral characters that you can't hate. So you can only like him further. So that's my favorite character. Anyone else?
I love Owen and Gwen collectively. That is one character. That's one character.
Like Polaris, for obvious reasons.
I think Valeris is just badass. Really at the end of the game, if you do things a certain way, she comes out and kicks ass, and it's crazy. And I really dug that, and there was a lot of cool animations that go along with that. So, excuse me, I really dug that.
I think my favorite, aside from Chewie, just because he amuses me, I think my favorite is probably the Necromancer, because she started out as a real kind of throwaway character that wasn't really going to be well developed, and then she ended up getting kind of her own full backstory and then a cool portrait, and that whole part of the game just ended up turning out a lot more well realized than I think it was originally intended to, or it was originally going to be.
Yeah,
I'm
it
still
really
not
turned
seeing
into
the
something cool.
I was thinking of who's that guy that hangs out at the inn? He's got the pith helmet. I never remember that.
Ned.
Yeah, nothing to do with that guy. I really like Prospero. He's just fun and sarcastic, and he teaches you magic. I gotta respect.
Oh yeah. I love Prospero. One of my favorites, probably because I really dug the performance of Steve Patrick as Prospero. He really created a character there, and it was really cool.
I love the exchanges between them two, especially learning spells, and then when for example, like the ice shard spell. This is one I quite laughed at. You learn the ice spell, and then your conversation topic comes back up, and you choose that, and Prospero goes, "How's it going, killing the undead?" You're about to answer, and Prospero answers, "Wait a minute, no, I don't care." I love that. It's just very. Love that character.
Wait, I don't care. Yeah, and in the performance, it really works.
Yeah.
So let's see. Any other questions here?
There's a couple in the Q&A here.
Right.
One by the names are below, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Josh Dinan says, I hope it's Dinan or Dinan, I don't know. Says,
Dinan.
I lived in the boonies as a kid, and the closest thing I had to a computer was a stick. What can you say about the game to convince someone to play it that has never played these types of games growing up?
There's a stick in the game. What?
No, Dinan's not lying. I know him personally, and he grew up in the sticks. Like really, like I got to be honest. I'm surprised he knows English. You know, he. What would I say to convince someone that's never played these types of games to play it? I could say if you play this game, it will make you 10 times the person that you ever thought you could be. No, that's bad. I don't know. Play the game because you'll enjoy it because it's fun. You know, that's the only thing I can say. It might give you chest hair too. That's a bonus.
Well, I think there's something to be said for the idea that like point-and-click adventure games like this have the ability to appeal to people that aren't necessarily like mainstream gamers, because you know, I mean, a lot of what video games do nowadays, especially like AAA mainstream games, you know, they're pretty far removed from the kind of experience you have with a point-and-click adventure game. It's a much more slower-paced type of game. You can really take it in at your own pace. You're not constantly pressured to be reacting to things in terms of like hand-eye coordination and stuff. So, I mean, you know, it can be, if you like a good story and you like exploring a world, you know, I mean, that's you can do all of that, and you can do it slowly and deliberately if you want.
Yeah, I mean, look at a modern controller. Look at how many buttons this thing has got. What do all of these do? Take a point-and-click adventure game. It's just a mouse, couple of buttons, and pictures that show you what it is you're going to do to a thing when you click on it.
That's a good
Excellent
point. To Dinan though specifically, I'm gonna say, you should play this game. You know, because you grew up in the sticks, you didn't play many games. You should play this game, or I'll never speak to you again in your life.
Okay, we got a question from Lurker, who I believe we know who that is.
Yeah.
How did the involvement of the Kickstarter backers influence the game, for the better or for worse?
You know, for the better, because we had so many awesome backers. Like, really, people really got on board with this and got involved, and you know, and were interested in the production, and very encouraging too. You know, and a lot of them came on board to help with beta testing, and you know, we had you know, people come on board to help us with the ports, to lend a hand, lend their expertise. You know, you meet some really quality people within the backers. And that's really cool, and I would have never met them before, and you know, we would have never got to, you know, become friends with them, and have them lend their talents to, you know, our overall profile. You know, there was only one backer I had a problem with, really, who was involved with the game, and you know, I mean, you're gonna win some or lose some, but you know, I mean, like, this guy was just, he was so annoying, and oh, hey, Matt. How you doing? You're here.
I was going to
wow.
say, leave the call
Hi.
if you do.
He heard it. He heard me. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Seriously, the backers, you know, definitely helped inspire us and shape us. You know, like the enthusiasm of some of the backers was like infectious. You know, Serena was really, you know, encouraging, and she really believed in the project, and she rallied a lot of people to our support and cause. You know, Doug Baxter did the same thing, and Mike Shaw. You know, these guys were all, like, you know, really involved, and they really pushed us to be better and pushed us to the edge of our talents. And
I think we have to give Goatmeal a shout out too.
oh, geez, Goatmeal. I can't forget about Gary there. He's amazing. Oh, boy. I never met a nicer guy. And he made all the fonts in our game just because he loves adventure games so much. And, you know, it started out, he made some fonts for Space Quest 2, and then he was like, well, I got this font I've been working on here, and I would love for you to use it. And we're like, all right. So, you know, So we're lucky to have people like that in our lives, and they definitely help shape the game for the better. So
I think it personalizes the process a little bit more. It makes you, when you have people that have already kind of contributed a donation to the game, to the project, I think it makes you feel like you have people that are counting on you more so than you would if you were just making the game and releasing it, even if you're still selling it. It's like you don't want to let your supporters down. So I think it pushed all of us to kind of work a little harder and try to do things to the best of our ability, more so than it would have.
We just got so attached to the whole Kickstarter crowdfunding community. We just found that it's really great, and very interesting people. And obviously that's where we wanted to. Everyone's sharing each other's projects, and that's where the inception of Kickstart Ventures also came from as well. Just our interests and love of this whole kind of community, and we wanted to sort of show our support for for everyone who was involved. It's just a brand new community.
It wasn't like you spoke and we listened, and now we've implemented the changes. It was like constant interaction with the backers and everybody involved. It was like, especially Steve was just like constant. He still is just talking to everyone all the time. It wasn't like you go away for 2 months and then you like put a little update up and say, "Oh, look what we've done." It was like every 4 minutes was like, "Hey, good idea or bad idea. We can't do that."
I just think in general it would be a very different game. I mean, some of the side quests and things that we came up with during development came about because we had backers who had requested specific types of sprites if they had donated at that level. So that kind of stimulated the imagination. I think there's an artist character in Tier that was all he came out of a backer's desire to be shown as an artist in the game somewhere, and he's somebody you have to interact with to do a certain thing later on in the game. So,
let's see here. Now, I got this isn't a question, but this is from my cousin Jake, who says, "Hi, Steve." Hi, Jake. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to give a shout out to my cousin Jacob here. Back when I was on dialysis, Jacob went and got tested because he wanted to donate a kidney to me, and he didn't match, and he was really, really heartbroken over that. And he was the only one in my family who stepped up to offer me a kidney, and that's really cool, and I'll never forget that. So let's see here, and now something a little less deep. Steve, what's it like being so freaking awesome, Michael Jackson?
You've got the.
I really don't know what it's like being so freaking awesome, but I'll ask some other people sometime.
Well, is it better or worse than Marmite?
Let's say it's.
Don't be careful what you say.
Pretty much anything is better than Marmite.
Marmite flavored hummus.
You guys are the worst.
Even I think that sounds gross, and I like both of them.
Marmite flavor, dude. You know what's really funny is people still lately have been sending me messages about hummus. Oded Sharon, another game designer that's a friend of mine. I met, I've known him for years. We're on the scene, but I met him at GDC this year. He sent me a message the other day. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to kickstart a game called Heroes of Hummus starring you." And I said, I don't like hummus, but I think the name Heroes of Hummus would be an awesome video game. Could you imagine that?
Oh, he has released a food-related Kickstarter game, hasn't he?
I think I think the acronym for that game would be pronounced HO, so that's kind of cool.
He's done a potato salad potato Flappy Bird?
He has potato salad, Flappy Potato Salad.
Yeah.
It's a video game based on making
And it's
potato
reached
salad.
its goal already of $5.
He had a goal of $5. He smashed it in the day.
Yeah, I met Oda last week.
That's right. Yeah, you guys went and saw Monty Python, right?
Yeah, we went to Monty Python.
That's
But,
awesome.
very enthusiastic guy. He loves the community, loves everything about it, and he was just a good guy to chat with. Good things to say about you, of course.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he was a really really nice guy. I got a chance to meet so many wonderful people at GDC in March, including Jason Lamb, who stopped in for a few days towards the end, and that was a lot of fun. We were down at Fisherman's Wharf. We sat and had a drink out on the wharf. That was nice. Oh, looked at Alcatraz for a while. Then, oh look, there's Alcatraz. So,
And then Sean and I had pancakes the next day after you left.
yeah, that's right. You guys. I had to take off early morning flight, so you guys got to hang out more.
Yeah.
So,
It was cool.
but
What is that sound?
let's see. Oh,
There he is, John. He joined the call again.
from
Can you guys hear
Brandon.
me?
Is somebody playing a didgeridoo?
Sorry.
That's pretty cool.
Is my audio?
Whoa. Sorry. Why is he muted?
Because you just muted him.
I didn't mean to. I think he's okay now.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
you're audible.
Yeah, I hear you.
John?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure you're there.
Let's ask John the art question again. John? What was your favorite thing to draw, design, animate, etc.?
Let's see. Come back. I think I enjoyed doing the slave trader death because I like killing nasty fat bastard slave traders.
You're a sick man, John. Why we love you.
And infamous, and that's what I enjoy.
How many got notched on your belt then, John?
I think that kill comes off as the most cold-blooded thing Rome does in the entire game. At least in my opinion. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay, we have a question from Dad's Spiel Studio. If the stars and moons align properly, how would you feel about promoting IQ and QFI at fan conventions over
5 to 6 year change. Thank you. Thanks. Have a good night.
Do you
I'm
that
sorry.
question?
What was the question?
Sorry, yeah, if the stars and moons align properly, how would you feel about promoting IQ and Quest for Infamy at fan conventions and such over the next few months?
Geez, actually, there's a retro games con here where I live in Syracuse, New York, in November, and they asked me to be there, and I'm going to be there. A couple of the voice actors who are in the game are going to be there, and I would love to be able to do more, of that. I'd love to have more of my team there with me to do it. I had a lot of fun in GDC when Sean was around and when Jason was around. It would be really cool if a bunch of us could get together and go to one of those things and do it together. Because I think as a group we would probably just like walk in there like Reservoir Dogs and take over the place. But so, geez, I guess there's still a lot of people hanging out over in the defunct chat. So I have to check this out. One moment, friends. Uh-oh. Still
What,
talking about-
people still in the old chat?
Still talking about Time Cop. Let's see here. I'm gonna post that there and then get the hell out of there. All right. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. The Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman. Discuss.
How much of an empire was it?
Yeah, it wasn't an
man.
empire either.
Can you repeat the question?
You know what was an empire? The Galactic Empire, man. The Emperor had that shit on lockdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's ever see Julius Caesar shoot lightning out of his fingertips.
Yeah, that lazy Caesar. Like, why? What is he doing?
Inventing salad.
My favorite empire is Empire Biscuits, personally.
Empire
You know the
Biscuit.
little two-layer things with the jam in the middle and the icing on the top?
Jammy
Oh,
Dodger.
yeah. A jammy
No,
Dodger.
no, it's not a jammy Dodger. I suppose it's kind of like one if it had icing on the top and like a jelly sweet as decoration. Have you guys never had one?
Can't say I have, dude.
No, I can't say I have,
Is
but
this
I
a
would.
Squid Street?
What?
I don't think I've had one.
God's sake.
We
We're going
do
to do
have
something
a.
about that at the next meetup, I think.
Broomy just wants pizza rolls and ranch dressing. Once he gets that, we'll
What
be good.
drink?
Dude, I'm seriously, Broomy, you gotta come over here, because then I'll feed you all these. I'll feed you all this disgusting American delectables, and we'll send you back to Britain weighing 300 pounds.
I can't wait.
Oh, here we go.
Serious question.
Yes.
Now, how does it feel to have your gaming dream come true, Steve? And how are sales so far?
Let's see. How does it feel to have your gaming dreams come true? Tell you, I'm still a little in shock about it. You know, it's still a little surreal, even though we've been at this for so long. The fact that today came, and we released the game, and it's out there worldwide. It's a little overwhelming, you know. And I just hope people enjoy it at this point. And I don't have any sales figures from today yet, so probably get those at the end of the week. So we're still kind of flying blind right now. From what I've been told by some people, they've been good. So I don't have any data though, so I'm still kind of sitting here wondering myself. But we'll see. And along No, that's not me.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, that wasn't my mic.
I think it's John's mic. John, something about the location where you're at, John, is causing a bunch of like static interference to come over. So sorry, we have to keep muting you.
Oh,
Don't blame me.
It sounded like we were in an airplane.
it was hard to hear what you were saying, Steve, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say a whole lot about the sales specifically, but I've been watching Twitter a bit, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they're getting the game, playing it. Some people who were on the fence, and somebody will say, yeah, I get the game because I really enjoyed it.
Here's a good question. What was the funniest glitch that happened during alpha beta development? And then he asks, do you agree with me that it was Gorth butt surfing across the market square? This is from Das Spiel
That's from
Studio.
SD.
Yeah.
That's from SD.
Oh, SD. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. It was definitely Gorth butt surfing across the market square was pretty funny. When you get an animation screw up like that, it's really funny.
There was one that made me laugh out loud that happened. It was an interaction glitch where the text would play over and over again, and it was if you're walking to tier on the screen with the broken statues, you click on the broken female statue. There's like this description that ultimately leads to a boob joke, and when the punchline is delivered when you leave the screen. When it first was implemented, there was a glitch that made that punchline repeat every time you left the screen.
So there would be no context for it.
It's the narrator going, "Fine, I was gonna say boobs, damn it," like over and over.
Yeah, if you click on the statue, it says, "Oh, it's a shame that this statue is fallen because it had a nice set of perfectly shaped." And then the next line goes, "Ears." I was gonna say ears, you pervert. And then you do your business on the screen and you walk off, and as you walk off, the narrator goes, "All right, fine. I was gonna say boobs. We all were thinking it." And yeah, that's right. It kept repeating. And it didn't matter if you looked at it. The rest of the game, anytime you're on that screen, if you left, it said, "I was gonna say boobs. We were all thinking it." So it's like,
It would have been funnier if that happened on every screen.
You know when you're just randomly walking along the street, and you're like, boobs. So that's what it was like. Does this
That's
happen
normally
anymore?
what it's like.
Now let's see. We got so.
I'm going to get beer.
You're getting a beer? All right. So let's see. Why not leave the butt slide in? Because it's a bug, and it doesn't work. Jeez. Oh, here's
I've got a question here from a Lambonius. What would you say
Who the hell is
were the
that?
biggest hurdles you faced in the course of this project?
What's up?
What would you say were the biggest hurdles you faced in the course of this project? This is from a Lambonius.
I believe Lambonius was the biggest hurdle we faced in this project.
I'm just trying to keep the conversation
I
moving.
second that.
It was a good topic.
It was a thought-provoking question.
You walked right into it.
I think the biggest hurdle was probably budget and time. I mean, we made this game on a budget that's less than friggin' like EA spends on lunch a day for their employees of Madden 2000 or whatever. Like the project manager of that game's probably like, "Are you pleased? We spend that on toilet paper."
I'm vaguely insulted.
So.
Well, we spent all of ours on toilet paper as well, to be fair.
Oh yeah, it's got to be honest. So a lot of toilet
It's
paper.
being shipped out to the backers as we speak, by the way.
Yes. The Quest for Infamy, the official toilet paper. Have an infamous ass. All right.
What
What was the question?
Let's see. Oh, I have from Brandon Tobin, is one of the backers. Thanks for giving me working legs. And that Brandon is a backer who's in game, and his character will dance in tear if you talk to him. And Brandon unfortunately is in a wheelchair, and he asked if we could make him dance, and so we did. As a matter of fact, John Stoll did that animation, and that meant a lot to Brendan. He told me that before, so that's pretty cool. That's the kind of thing you get from interaction with your backers that you don't get anywhere
Cheers,
else.
Brendan.
So, yep. Cheers to you, sir. And let's see. Question here. Regarding the writing, obviously the game itself is heavily inspired by Quest for Glory, and there is structure built around it to make it work. Aside from that, what were your inspirations for the specific storyline, characters, and quests? I think for me, the biggest inspiration for the storyline was probably Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That's what I'm going to do.
I thought you were going to say 5th grade.
Yeah, 5th grade definitely had an impact on me. I mean, this game could have easily been about Ramona and Beezus, so we're lucky we went that way.
Very obscure reference, by the way.
What's up?
It's a very nice obscure reference, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, right. Ramona and Beezus. I'm sorry, I just remember all these. That was like one of the books that was like at book fairs. Like we used to have these book fairs when I went to school as a kid, and this Scholastic, the company, the publisher, would come in with like these big lockers full of books, and you could buy, all kinds of stuff there. But the Beverly Cleary books were particularly popular amongst young girls then, and I remember Ramona and Beezus was the title. There was books by an author named John Bellairs, A House with a Clock in Its Walls. Young adult stuff like that. Hatchet by Gary Paulson sticks out in my mind. There was one I read when I was a kid called After the Bomb, which was a what if scenario if a nuclear bomb went off in the middle of L.A. And a big influence, honestly, this for me now was The Chronicles of Prydain by a man named Lloyd Alexander. No relation, but it was all about Welsh mythology, and most people would probably recognize it when Disney tried to adapt it into a movie called The Black Cauldron, which is not one of their best known titles, but it was an attempt to adapt that. And I remember.
Yeah, the first 2 books, I think, actually, not just the one with the same title.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, actually, the book, The Black Cauldron. The movie is more like the Book of Three, which is the first book. The second book is The Black Cauldron, and it's much different. And they're a really great series. If you haven't read them, you should really go out because they're full of, rich mythology, and Welsh lore. I mean, one of the characters' names in it is Gwydion, Lord of the House of Don. And, of course, Gwydion, would be known to King's Quest players, as the protagonist of King's Quest 3. And Manannan is a name, from Welsh mythology as well. So, I mean, that book's a treasure trove of retold Welsh tales. Obviously written in a language much easier to speak than Welsh, for God's sake. So, are you
See, they never picked up on the double L, did they?
Yeah.
Because it would have been Lludor.
Yep. Lludor.
I've got that to look forward to.
You going to Wales? What's up?
I'm moving to Cardiff in September.
Oh, okay. So I guess that
I'm gonna have Welsh people in my ear 24/7.
Just remember, you don't need a map. Just stand in the middle of town, look around, and whatever you see, that's the name of the place you're standing.
I'm just gonna wait for the TARDIS to show up.
Gurgi, awesome. yeah. Sorry, that's a question over there. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Chronicles of Prydain, and I recommend them to anybody. I read them when I was a boy, but they're still good to read as an adult. It has one of the best bad guys in the series I've ever heard of. The guy named Auron, Deathlord. Scary as hell. I really wish somebody would make a good film adaptation of them, because they would make some great films. So yeah, Auron, Deathlord, scary dude. All right,
Question from Brandon Tobin. Good question here. Which are all of your favorite classes and why?
Which are all of your favorite classes and why?
Yeah, what is your favorite Quest for Infamy class?
All right, I'll start. I enjoy the Rogue class because that's what I always used to play back in the day, and I just enjoy that. It's fun. I like sneaking around. I like stealing stuff. I like saying passwords. Whatever floats your boat. All right, who wants to answer next?
Every Quest for Glory game I used to play, I used to pick the thief I picked the source, the wizard with either which, with the ability of both. So I could be a thief with magic powers, or I could be a magician with parry thieving skills. So I like the combination of both. In this one, I'll probably stick with the rogue. Same with you, Steve. I enjoy robbing people's houses, getting the loot, sneaking around, and not just having to just bash enemies over the head. I like actually being able to sneak and use a bit of stealth to get past any obstacles in the game. So I'll probably go with rogue as well, but with a hint of sorcerer.
All right.
I think the I don't really have a favorite. There are things that I really like about each of them. I like the side characters that you meet as a brigand the best. I like the ability to break into houses and do stuff like that as a rogue. Those are all the break-in houses in the game. I think are all very well done. And the sorcerer has a whole set of tasks just related to gathering ingredients for spells. So I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff to like there. So I mean, it's I like them all really. In Quest for Glory, I tended to play a fighter and then turn him into a paladin, and then kind of stick with the paladin for the rest of the series. But it's hard. I mean, I like them all really.
Boo!
I like the sorcerer just because I like Steve Patrick's voice. Like I could listen to that guy talk all day.
Right on. Jeremy, what's your favorite?
Sorcerer, just because magic and all that good stuff.
You almost said shit. I heard you.
I almost said-
You almost said the shit word.
Right.
Shit.
There's no censorship.
Thank you, sir.
He was going to say boobs. We were all thinking it.
Well played. Well played. Jen, what do you like to play as?
I think I would say sorcerer as well, because I always pick magic and ranged classes when I'm playing RPGs. But as Lam says, like there's elements in the game that you completely don't get to see, depending on which one you picked. And there's some classic stuff in all of them. So I find it really difficult to choose which class to pick every time I do a playthrough.
It is tough.
It is.
All right. Well, we got to say goodbye to Jason, who's got to take off and go to dinner now. I hear that. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, no problem.
Jason.
We'll talk with you soon.
All right, guys. Enjoy
Very well, sir.
the chat.
All right, he is out. All right now. Matt, what class do you enjoy playing as?
Well, when I was doing the beta testing, I was always playing as a sorcerer. You know, obviously, I haven't had time to download the full game and play it yet because I just got home from work, ate dinner, and got on this thing.
Yeah.
But I just love the versatility the magic gives you, particularly, thinking back to the Quest for Glory days. You could use a lot of the magic outside of combat and solve most of the puzzles, just throw some magic at it. One of my favorite lines in the entire series was from Quest for Glory 4. You go to the outside of the village, they got the corn stalks. If you cast Fetch on one of those, the narrator says something about how clever you thought you were, not having to walk all the way over there and take it, but since they're attached, you're going to have to use your feet and get it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I remember that line. That's a good one. Yeah.
So what I would usually do, though, is I'd pick the fighter, because then you get the sword and shield for when you have to do the melee combat, and then add magic, sneaking, and by the end of the series, I had every skill in the game.
Right? You were like, yeah, dude, I used to be maxed out by the end of the series, too. So, all right. We have a question from Ronald. Has there been any contact with Laurie and Corey Cole? Do you think Hero U will face some delays now because they'll be hooked to QFI? Yeah, actually, Corey Cole gave us a shout out a few updates ago in Hero U, and was particularly nice. Was particularly nice to us there, and told everybody we should support us, and that we're big fans of the adventure game genre, and that was super nice. Getting to meet and talk to and work beside some of the people that you grew up playing their games is definitely a perk, and we're very lucky that way. So
Kind of surreal, eh?
what's up?
It's kind of surreal, like knowing these people, like especially like Scott Murphy. I've like been talking to him. I'm like, hey, I was like 8 years old, and I used to look at the back of Space Quest box and go, these guys are cool. They got a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Talked about Murphy on the phone. That was.
And I just talked to him on Skype. I'm like, what?
Well, me and Jen, we were fortunate to meet him in Edinburgh, weren't we? And that was a very fun.
We took him to the Fringe Festival and got him really drunk.
Let's see here. We got a good question here from Justin. If you get to make loads of sequels, do you think you will continue making them in the classic style, or could you see making sequels more modern? I love making games in the classic style, and I would love to do that. But I only think I would make them. I only think I would make them more modern if we got an ungodly amount of cash thrown at us to make one. Because really, with modern stuff and 3D stuff, you got to go big or go home. You gotta do well on it. Because bad 3D looks like bad 3D, and you can't avoid that. So that's
How many people would say Quest for Glory 5 was their favorite out of the series?
good point. Exactly. I think what we
King's
do.
Quest 8.
Yeah, King's Quest 8 is probably the best of the series. I find it to be the finest drink coaster I've ever used. But
I did the Let's Play of it, and the bonus
You'll
video
drink
that I did for
the
that
Armory.
was probably the funniest thing I have ever done, or ever will do.
Well, with the style that we do with the hand painted backgrounds, the bigger you go, the more time it takes. So
yeah.
I like the classic style.
Here's SD just said, only modernize the 5th QFI game. If we ever got to a Quest for Infamy 5, I don't know, man. I would just laugh. By the time we got to making that game, all the kids would be like, from Back to the Future, they'd be like, you mean you got to use your hands? That's baby stuff. So,
the first puzzle is going to be Rome's got to find hair dye so that he can get the gray out of his hair and look the same way that he did in the previous games.
Oh, I need just for men.
Just for brigands.
Just for brigands. takes the gray out of your hair. Makes you look more fierce.
Well, if I use the just for rogues, does that mean a change class?
So yeah, Justin asked the question, would you make them more modern? I could really only see us doing that if we had some kind of ungodly budget, But you never say never. Things could change in the future. But one of the reasons we got into this is because we like the classic style, and there's not too many people out there making games like that anymore professionally. And I think that a lot of the AAA companies got that kind of niche covered. I mean, honestly, like Assassin's Creed is pretty awesome. Skyrim is pretty awesome, and those games have their budget's got to be like close to $100-200 million. You know what I mean? And they're big productions. We're small, but we pack a lot of entertainment. It's the same reason why you have independent films. That have small budgets but make really great films. A lot of the best films of the past 20 years have been independent films as opposed to studio films. But there's a place for both.
They're more story focused, aren't they?
Yeah, well, because you kind of have to be. But it's funny. Like some people think that everything has to either be one or the other. And I just don't think that. Like, I could go out and watch Transformers. I could go out and watch a Michael Bay movie and totally have fun with it if that's what I'm expecting and be like, yeah, popcorn flick. Let's see some explosions and really bad acting and just go out and enjoy myself, But then if I want to see a smaller, more story-focused film, I really like it. Like, I saw a film last year called The Way Back, and I don't know if anybody else has seen that, but, it's a little movie with Steve Carell and Sam Rockwell, who is just probably one of our generation's best actors. I just love the guy. And it's just about a teenage kid, going to a vacation in Massachusetts, and he's just kind of awkward and doesn't fit in. And, and it's not some kind of crazy epic story, but, it was easily relatable, to me. I remember being that age, like 14, and, kind of just not feeling my place around the world and that. And so, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and at the same time, I enjoy big tentpole films too. So I don't think you have to choose between any of them.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's our next game concept that is not QFI related? We are doing a game called Quest for Cheeseburgers in My Face. And the goal of the game is to find the perfect cheeseburger to stuff in your face. Real simple. So.
You find it in San Francisco?
You might. I don't know. You might find it in your own backyard, grilling.
It sounds like a video game adaptation of Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies.
I love that you call it Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies. That's funny. That's right. I forgot that's what it's called overseas. Here we know it's Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We've got secret things on the docket that we can't talk about right now, but you'll probably hear about stuff in the next couple months. So, all right, that's we're out of questions right now, and I think we've been at this for a couple hours now, and you guys probably want to go off and do stuff. It's probably really friggin' late over there and across the pond where some of our members are from. So, I think I'm gonna end this here. Does anybody have any final thoughts that they want to impart before we leave?
Play the game. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for all. We've had some really good comments so far, and it's just finally great to get this project out there after the 2.5 years I've been working on. And I've actually been at this for nearly 10 years now, because Quest for Infamy was a fan project to begin with, and it's just absolutely evolved into something fantastic. What we're looking at today, and it's just great to see it evolve into that.
Right on, bro.
Yeah.
And if we do another Kickstarter for Quest for Infamy 2, the top reward is totally worth it, and you should save up and spend for it.
We look forward to your contribution, Matt.
I mean, if the Google Draw thing would work for me properly, I would put text across my face and say, "Your face could be here."
Jen, anything final to say?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for actually coming and sitting through like an hour and a half or whatever of us just talking total nonsense, but also for playing the game, for backing the project, for those of you who just went out and bought it today. Everybody who's supported us along the way and just been really encouraging in all those tweets and posts and things, like it made a massive difference to us, and I know we say it over and over and over again, but we mean it. So thank you everybody for that, and for all my friends and family who said nice things to me today. It meant a lot.
Right on.
And I would definitely want to thank the artists and everybody that wasn't here. There was plenty more people to definitely mention. Part of the project, definitely a labor of love, and takes a lot of effort. Sometimes it doesn't get noticed, so we appreciate everything, guys.
It takes a village to raise an idiot, and I am that idiot. James Mulvale, any final parting words of wisdom?
I wouldn't say wisdom. I'm just so I don't know what to do with myself now.
Who gives a more?
There's gonna be a big void in my life to fill, but I'm sure something else will come. Until then, I'm just so grateful for everyone for buying the damn thing and supporting us. And
yeah,
thanks.
we're a small independent team here, and everyone who supports us, it means a lot. It's not going into some CEO's bank account to buy a yacht. It's buying food for our families and helping to pay rent and mortgage. A lot of the team has kids now, and it goes to buy toys for them and everything like that. That's when you support small businesses, you really help out people. So I gotta thank everybody who has contributed to us. So, and thanks everybody that consistently day by day comes up and brings their best. I want to thank my team for inspiring me to be better and pushing me to the limits of my capabilities, and for putting forth the effort to really bring to life the things that I had in my head that I asked of them. You guys would go above and beyond to create all the crazy things that I would want, and you would take my Steve sketches and you would make them into something that was amazing. So, I really got to thank all of you guys, and worth every second. So, all right, we're gonna sign off here. Someone painted a mole on my face. I don't know who that was, but
Cheers.
I'm not happy. James is cheersing. And all right, everybody. Thanks again for all your support. I'm gonna go pass out probably, and have a good night or day, depending on where you are. Later on. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Everyone.
That's right. Good minions.